Hello, Tat Cowboy here. So I came across an article a few days ago, and it was about a new bill that had been introduced. And I reached out to the representative that submitted the bill, wanting to get his opinion or viewpoint on why he wants this bill passed. But I've yet to hear back from him, so I want to go ahead and get this information out to you. So the bill was submitted by Representative Christopher England. He is a Democrat. He wants to make Alabama a duty to inform state. Now, last uh, last session, then Alabama passed the permitless carry bill, and unfortunately, there was a few items attached to that bill that myself and several other pro-gun activists, such as the gun rights group Bama Carry, was very against, and that was that when asked, you have a duty to inform the officer that you are carrying a concealed weapon or that there is a weapon in the vehicle. Thing about it is that they didn't put a penalty on that. So I guess technically you could lie to the officer, but I would bet money that if you was to not be truthful and somehow if he was to find out, he or she, that you did have a weapon, then they would find something to charge you with. I don't know what they would come up with, but there's lots of random little charges out there that they could find a reason to arrest you and charge you with. But what this bill does is it makes it mandatory for you to tell that officer right away. And if you fail to disclose that information, then you can be charged with a Class A misdemeanor. So they wanted to make it mandatory for you to tell that officer. And if you lie or fail to do so, now you're going to get penalized. Of course, the Alabama Sheriff's Association has jumped on board in supporting this bill. I'm sure it's all about officer safety. Thing about this bill, though, one thing I find interesting about it, it talks a lot about funding and revenue. So this bill, it will be presented to the Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee. That committee, I don't know if this is 100% accurate. This is from the 2021 through 2022 legislative session, but the committee at the time consisted of 4 Democrats and 10 Republicans. They might say Republicans by party, but I'm sure there's some rhinos hiding in there, and this will be a good test to find out whose side they're on. But let me get down to the funding part. I'm going to have this bill linked in the description down below, so you can read it for yourself. But it talks about how the existing law doesn't make it mandatory and there's not a penalty. But it talks about funding a lot, revenue. That's all that a lot of gun laws really are. That's what the pistol permit was. It was a revenue generator. If you want to carry a gun, they're going to tax you. And if you fail to get the permit, then they tax you. So, let your representative know that you don't want this bill passed. In my opinion, a law-abiding citizen being forced to tell an officer that they have a gun is equivalent to you being forced to tell the officer how much change is in your cup holder or what color underwear you're wearing, because it's all useless information to him. If someone with bad intentions gets asked that question, do they have a gun? They're either going to be a felon and they're going to lie about it, or they're going to have the ill intentions and they're going to lie about it. And also with them passing and creating that database of prohibited persons, as long as I'm not in that database, then what does it matter if I have a gun? This is all my opinion on the matter. Again, contact your representatives. And until next time, Tactical Cowboy out.